I'm dad to our 9 kids, but Grandpa Bob to our 40 grandchildren. So that title has stuck, even though my wife and I are great-grandparents now, too. Meanwhile, I'm the only living expert on my own dad, and that's what I want to tell you about.
If you look at a map of the United Kingdom, you'll find the county Cornwall way down in the lower left-hand corner, sticking out into the Atlantic Ocean just above the English Channel. Famous for its rocky beaches, it was best known a couple of centuries ago for its pirates. And the way they talk in Cornwall is exactly how you imagine pirates would sound. "Aye, matey, hoist the sails. We're going after the gold doubloons." Well, John Roe Moyle wasn't a pirate, but he was cut from that same rough character. He was a stonemason who specialized in carving granite.
When Theodore Judah was 10 years old, his father died. So at age 12, Ted, as the man of the house, had to start working as a surveyor's apprentice, helping to lay out smooth, gently rising and gently curving railroad beds for the rails. He liked the work, but he wanted to know how to design entire railroad systems. So he went to college and became a civil engineer, designing roads and bridges and canals and railroads.
If a building could talk, what would it say? Well, let me take you down Utah's historic Highway 89 to a point that was pretty much in the middle of the original Utah Territory just before Utah became a state. Shortly after the pioneer settlers came into the Salt Lake Valley in 1847, President Brigham Young began calling families and sending them out to establish towns all over the area. They wanted to create a Zion with far-reaching potential.
Welcome to Little Hollywood. Kanab earned the name Little Hollywood from the movie makers of Hollywood, California, who came to southern Utah to shoot their Western movies and TV shows. Dozens and dozens of them, starting from the very first talkies.
But I wasn't mixed up in that gang. I was trying to help you. Why, you darn fool.
It was a mild April in 1884 in the Parker family's one-room cabin in the mountain valleys of central Utah. Circleville, to be exact. It was a cabin that was bursting at the seams with children. One of them, Robert Leroy Parker, or Bob to his family, was fixing to leave and set out on his own. Oh, he had worked away from home before, and on one occasion, when Bob had ruined his only jeans, he went into the nearby town to buy a pair, but the store was closed. So, being a resourceful fella, he broke in and got a pair of jeans and helped himself to a slice of pie, for which he left an IOU, promising to pay next time he was in town. The storekeeper found the note, but decided to press charges. Oh, Bob was acquitted, but that might have been part of the reason he was leaving now that he had turned 18. He was old enough, after all, to be held responsible for his own actions, and there were some of those actions that, well, he knew how some people just like to talk, and he didn't want that coming back on his family. So he kissed his mother goodbye, hugged his adoring little brothers and sisters, and left, bound for Telluride in southern Colorado. You see, Parker was good with a rope, excellent on a horse, and a crack shot. Those were skills he had picked up working for Mike Cassidy. That hombre also taught Parker how to pick out stray unbranded cattle and branded them for Mike's herd. Huh. That new skill had put Bob in the company of 2 men a little older than himself who had young families, and the 3 of them had refined that talent by rebranding cattle that had already been branded. Tender-hearted Bob didn't want his friends' young families to suffer with their daddies in jail, so he took the blame for them. He took it all. That put Bob crosswise with the law for a second time, and he figured that going over the state line was the best way to keep his family from getting mixed up in his problems.